Okay, hello you beautiful people. Welcome back. Let's do a quick update on LTC, and it seems like that we finally want to get our move on the upside. And the reason for why am I so frustrated with this move in LTC is because of just how long did it take for us to have this phase. Let's just measure it from this high initially. I think, yeah, it's actually this high to about the current point. This choppy god awful consolidation pattern so far has taken us about 90 days. It has been a whole 3 months since we are stuck in this teeny tiny 10% range, and I fully agree with you, this is absolutely annoying, but I do believe one way or the other this is going to come to an end. Either we are going to from here unfortunately get a move down in order to visit the lows, or maybe, and preferably for that matter, we are going to get a move up in order to minimum get to about this area. Why am I saying preferably get a move up? For two important reasons. Number one, this, like we talked about earlier, is definitely a ranging pattern right in here. Now, if you want to know most likely which direction any kind of ranging pattern is going to break, just pay attention to its previous move. As you can see, this one was on the upside, so makes sense to argue this is a ranging pattern and it's going to break out of this area. Point number two, you see, in terms of classic TA, meaning support and resistances in Litecoin, we are around this very important cluster of support areas from weekly and daily time frame at the same time. And from my POV, as long as we are not getting a break of this thing, makes perfect sense to say, yeah, bare minimum, we are going to have some sort of a short to mid-term reaction. Is it going to be like an outright rejection, suggesting the low, the final one in LTC is already in? At the moment, the jury unfortunately is still up for that one, and we really cannot say anything for sure. And if you like Elliot's waves, okay, I don't really have good news for you, since in my view, off of the lowest low, we are having just a 3-wave movement up, followed by a whole annoying correction structure to about these areas. And then what's happening in here, although I am bearish in LTC, at least in this region, and I do think maybe at one point we are going to get a move down and visit the lows. However, for the reasons that we talked about earlier, I think we are going to have a move up first. Let's say about maybe like bare minimum a 20% move, and then we are going to get a move down. Now, let's just zoom in a bit more, because if you remember, the last time that we talked about Litecoin, we were specifically, I believe, around this area, and the idea was that, well, okay, you can argue you are having maybe an A, B, C, D, E to about, excuse me, this area, and then we are having maybe a 1-2 structure like this. This is 5 up into 1, this is correction forward 2, and it seems like that we want to have a good continuation of the move up into wave 3, 4, 5, and if this is the case, then okay, this move, the one that we are currently having, has to get quite a bit extended. Why? Simple reason, in terms of Elliot's waves, we argue wave 3 in most cases is a rather strong and sharp move on the upside. On the other hand, if we're gonna have, instead of a 5-wave, just a 3-wave movement in form of, I don't know, maybe an A, B, C zigzag, then okay, even in that case, for the sub waves of our C leg, this is 1, this is 2, and again, the next move is going to be into wave 3, 4, 5. Hence why I said this current move on the upside hopefully is going to get extended. Now, my final reason for why I think we are going to get a break out of this area as opposed to an initial breakdown comes down to on those charts, believe it or not. Why? Let's just go on those charts. Okay, where was it? This one? Yep, there we go. So in Ondo, as you can see, we also had a very similar situation to LTC. And if I just measure our move from here to about this high, basically in this ranging pattern, this also, guess what, took us about 86, 87 days, very similar to Litecoin. And then what happened? Recently, we got a massive breakout, and pay attention, the moment that we got a break of this thing, our move up got accelerated very much, and from the higher band of this region, this is basically a 30% move up in only and only, I think it has been about 5 days. So we basically spent almost 90 days in this small, teeny tiny, choppy, god awful consolidation pattern. But hey, in a snap of a finger, we got a 30% move up, and I do think this is again very similar to Litecoin, since in LTC we also have, let's just go on this chart, there we go, we also have this choppy move on the downside. What we don't have is the breakout phase, and I'm really hoping that we are going to get it soon. And by the way, my final point, the reason for why I would like to argue a very lucky target, maybe even the minimum target for our coming move up in LTC, is going to be getting to about this area between 63.5 to about $64.5, comes down to gaps. You see, when we got, excuse me, this move on the downside, this actually happened way too fast, and as a result of it, right in here around, excuse me, this yellow region, we created a very important gap, and I believe gaps 95+% of the time are going to get filled. So let's say we are having a correction structure, and because this is a ranging pattern, we are going to get a breakout. In that case, okay, makes perfect sense to argue one likely target is going to be getting to about this area, and it's not even a guarantee that from here we are going to get a rejection. Maybe even we are going to continue our move, which at that point I'm expecting maybe bare minimum like another yet 20% move on the upside. But for now, again, let's not really get ahead of ourselves. Let's just focus on the coming move up, hopefully in Litecoin, and when we get it, we are going to make new updates and see where are we going to go from there. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in LTC's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.